In this video, we are going to be learning about the four basic data types, how to do mathematics in Python, and we are also going to be learning about variables. So the integer data type is a whole number. So any whole number which does not have a decimal in it is called an integer. So 1, 2, 562, 1000, it does not matter. Anything that does not have a decimal in it is a integer. I can check the type of a data type by print bracket type. If I type in a number that does not have a decimal in it, suppose 789, save my file, run, I can see that this 789 is a integer. So float is any number that has a decimal in it. So 5.1, 6.2, 2.6, it does not matter. Any number that has a decimal in it is called a float. So if I print the type of suppose 5.77, comment this line out. If I print the data of 5.77, let's see what we get. We get class float. That's how we can know that this number is a float. Before learning strings and booleans, let's see how we can do simple mathematical operations in Python. So if you want to add two numbers, 10 plus 5, you simply put the plus symbol. Addition. This is for addition. If you want to subtract two number, you will put the hyphen as the minus sign between them. So 9. If you want to multiply two numbers, so I want to multiply 5, you put the asterisk symbol and if you want to divide, so let's print. So all the mathematical operations are self-explanatory. 10 plus 5, 15, 9 minus 3, 6, 5 multiply 6, 30, except the division. We can see that it is a float. So if you do division like this in Python, it will come out as a float. If you don't want any remainder after your number and you want your number to become an integer, you could have done is suppose 20, the slash sign twice, slash slash, and the number that you want to divide with, and it's called a floor division. So here you can see it came out as an integer. Floor division will eliminate any number after the decimal. Also, you can do square, cube, or the exponent of any number by pressing the asterisk sign twice, asterisk asterisk 3. It's called a exponents, and then it would be 5 into 5 into 5, which would be 125. You can see the 125 here. The last thing we're going to discuss is the modulo. Modulo take what is left over. If I do 10 percentage sign, the percentage sign is the modulus operator, and 3, I would get 1 because 3 3s are 9 and there's a remainder 1, right? So it will give you the remainder. Modulus operator gives you the remainder, and if I had given 2, there would be no remainder because 10 is divisible by 2. Now let's look at the next data type, which are strings. Strings are any sequence of characters that would be either in double quotation or single quotation. And in my last video, I have already given an example of string. So if you have not checked that out, please do watch that. And then the last numeric data type we'll be seeing is the booleans. Booleans are any value which are either true or false. The first letter of true and false will be capital. We will be learning more about boolean when we get to the logical operations section, but for now just understand this: booleans will check a statement whether it is true or false. Just a quick note, if I did like this, it wouldn't be a boolean, it would be a string. Please do understand that. I will just give one simple example of boolean. If I print 2 greater than 1, is 2 greater than 1? Yes, right? Sorry, there was a, oh, I forgot to comment on this line. So is 2 greater than 1? Yes, right? It then will give me the output true. So boolean will only justify the statement whether it is true or not. If I had given 1 greater than 2, then it would have given me the output false. I will confirm whether this was a string or not by typing type. I forgot to give the bracket, sorry. So see, str is the class, but so if I had done for the boolean to check the type, I would have bool. It's how a boolean is defined. But if I had given the double quotation and then printed, I would get this as a string. So please do keep this in mind. Now let's learn about something very important, and it is variables. What are variables? As the name suggests, variables are something that can vary over time and it has the ability to change. If I type in my name is cyber matrix, and if I want to refer to this data later, can I do it? Of course I can do it by copying and pasting each time, but this is so long and your data can get so long that this is not wise. So that's why we're gonna put all of this data inside what is called a variable. We write variable like this. It is not the best practice to use uppercase to write variables. Also, your variables should not start with numbers. And there are other built-in functions like str or int, which I will get into it later. But please do understand for now that variables are written in lowercase. And variables are something that is stored into the computer's memory. So if I save this file and print, I can see nothing is being printed because I have not given the print function. I have just stored this variable inside my computer's memory. So in order to display this function, I will give print name. And this is how you refer to a variable. You just simply put the name there. See, now I can see that my name has been printed. Now suppose I have another variable called name, and my here this is a new string. If I print, then I can see that this first name has not been printed, but the second one has been printed. But please do understand that these two names are completely different. I'm printing my last name. This is stored in a different part of my memory, and this is stored in a different part of my memory. If I print the name here, save my file, you can see that even though I have two names, it is this print is referring to this name and this print is referring to this name. So these are not the same. I will give a better example and I want you to figure this out. What do you think would happen in this scenario? Please figure this out on your own. Okay, now let's go to the solution. So if I I can see that I get the output 3. Here, the value 1. Sorry, I forgot to mention one thing, that variables can store any type of data types. It can store integers, float, strings, and other forms of data types that we will get into it later. But for now, I am storing 1 as an integer inside this x. Since this x and this x is different, in this x I am referring to the first x and I'm adding 1 plus 1. Then this x becomes 2. Then again, since this x and this x is different, I am referring to this x over here, and then the value of this x was already 2, right? So 2 plus 1 is 3. If I did print on each line, then you can understand better. You can see. So this x is 1 from here, this x is 1 plus 1, and this x is 2 plus 1. Hopefully that was clear about variables, and now we're going to see some more examples of variables. Now I have taken 3 variables. The first variable, name, I have given it a string data type. The second variable, age, I have given it an integer data type. And the third variable, I have given it a float data type. Now we can call the variables any place that we want. So suppose if we build a simple program where it will print our name, age, and GPA, we can do print my name is, and we can call the variable right now, and then we can also call the integer right now, and lastly we are gonna call our GPA. Now if I had a different name and I want to change the name in my print function, I don't have to hard code it and do this every time. I could have just changed the name in my variable and it would have given me a different name. Now if I run this code, I will see that I get an error message. The message I get is can only concatenate string to string and not integer. So my error message states that I cannot concatenate strings with integers here or floats. Floats is not written, but you can also not concatenate floats with strings. So if I wanted to run this program, I have to make everything as a string for now. So I could have easily done it by doing this. I could have given double quotation mark on each of the integers and it would have become a string, and I can run my program like this. You can see. What I could have also done is I could have used the Python built-in to do str bracket and bracket again. Could have also done str bracket here and in my bracket and run my program right now. I can see that my program is running successfully because I have converted the integers and the floats to str string. And if you want to convert a string to an integer or an integer to a string, you could have done this to convert anything to an integer. You could have done float like this to convert anything to a float. Suppose if I wanted to convert this 3.7 into an integer, I could have given it a int like this and it would have been an integer. Last one more way of doing it is with the f string. So I will give print bracket f and then start my double quotation and write my string as it is without the variable name. I will put the variable name inside the double bracket. Inside each of the double bracket, I will put my variables in, and now if I run my code, I can see that I can run it normally. This double bracket inside the f string will convert the variables into strings. Just last one thing before I finish the video. Suppose I want to know what will my age be next year. So if I had typed in birthday, call my age function, age variable, you see age is 24. So if I call 24 here, I can type 24 plus 1. So now if I print if next year I will be years old. And now if I type in, I can see that the birthday variable first called 25 4 from age and added 1 to it, and I can put this under the f string and it will give me my birthday for the next year.